attention to me, boy. I'm not just talking to hear my head roar. Smart boy, got a mind like a steam trap. Full of mice.
Full of mice.
Nice boy, but doesn't listen to
What up, y'all? Welcome back to the next episode of Don't Do That on Mad as Hell Monday. Hope y'all had a great weekend, survived the snow if you are in the snowy states. If you are not in the snowy states, you lucky bastard. So, as we get started, 16 comes onto the show. I'll tell you the smoke of the F. I packed ourselves a nice little pre-roll here myself. We have Papa Smurf OG packaged by Glow Farms. We got a little bit of Lit Labs concentrate. CNCX Gas Phase 3.
What's that, the wax?
That's the wax.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's what's up.
So my couple of topics that I have for this episode, pretty interesting. Of course, we're going to have the stuff that had happened between the Ohio State and Michigan game.
Bad sportsmanship.
What it says is the Ohio State police released statement after pepper spraying some of the Michigan players, whether or not some of the Ohio State players, that wasn't stated or whatever, but either way, we'll get into that. And, you know, shout out to a Saginaw juvenile, a lifer, who, when we get into it, I'll explain it, because it kind of goes with the territory at the same time. But, you know, he gets a second chance of freedom, because he was 19 when this happened in the 90s. And he's finally being able to be released and get a second chance, even though he's 54. Ooh. But at the same time, he gets a second chance. So
my stuff is, as usual, everybody. My stuff is more geared toward the entertainment side. But my top story, story on the entertainment side is finally someone has taken the crown from Diddy, and they are, for the moment, they are the new laughing stock of hip hop.
Oh my God!
Man, Drake is actually suing UMG
for doing their job,
for bolstering, quote unquote, supposedly, allegedly bolstering the streams or the streaming count of Not Like Us, and also, you know, feeding into the myth that he is a pedophile. So yeah, that's my top story, man. It's just like one of the most un-hip hop things in hip hop, to sue someone for dissing
ridiculous.
When
that's
you
sad
lose
as hell.
The battle. You sue
like you literally lost the battle. You got your ass wiped, you know, across the floor. You know, because Kendrick may not drop a lot of stuff, but I don't care. When he drops something, he drops some shit that's worth listening to.
You know, like getting deeper into it, it's just like if Ice Cube had, you know, if NWA had sued Ice Cube for No Vaseline, or or if Kool Moe Dee sued LL Cool J for Jack the Ripper,
or
like,
and then you had Jay-Z with Nas, and Nas with Jay-Z.
I mean, come on, man.
A back and forth.
Sue each other.
I mean,
oh
my God. Unless you're
interview.
Eminem, of course, you know, he gets sued for, you know,
There's
kids reenacting his shit.
Yeah,
so
there's a whole quick interview with Torre and Stephen A. Smith that covers this in more vivid detail.
It's so stupid though. Like you're
stupid, bro.
You're a crybaby. You prove that you are a crybaby now. Instead, you're just mad because you can't come back with anything that's actually worth listening to.
It's corny. This is real corny.
I'm sorry. Welcome to America.
It's real corny.
Go back to Canada.
It's real corny.
I mean, if it's that deep and you feel that, you know, whatever about it.
You could have just sucked it up, took the loss, and just made more music.
Exactly. Instead, you want to cry and sue and cry and be a bitch. It's okay. We understand.
But yeah.
You a singing ass. That's what you are. A singing ass, remember? That's what you're labeled as. Alright, so, let's see here. we'll go ahead and talk about the Michigan and Ohio State. So, I guess what had happened is, I mean, it was a good game, very close game.
I heard about
All right, very close game, 13-10. 13-10. 13-10, and that's a good game. It's a real good game to watch. That's like
money's worth.
Exactly. You know, it wasn't a blowout, nothing like that. Now, from my understanding, I'm not big on knowing exactly what goes on, but as far as I know, it's a tradition throughout the college games from everybody, including Ohio State, crybabies. Okay, you lost your game. Michigan goes to plant their flag in midfield. My understanding, from what I heard, that's something that every college does.
It's a customary thing, to my understanding.
In true Buckeye form, you guys are crybabies and bitches, and you storm them, and you completely start a riot where a lot of Michigan players got pepper sprayed. Why a lot of y'all didn't get pepper sprayed because you stormed the field while your coach, Coach Day, just sat on the fucking field like a crybaby, like bewildered. No, you didn't have control of your team. You should have just lost your job. They need to find another coach. Get their asses in line. Okay, not saying that Michigan and Michigan State are any better. All right, they've had their problems themselves. They've burned couches after games and all that stuff, but you guys need to grow up. Like, I understand you're considered students still, but now you're at an age where you need to grow up.
We're at a theme here where, you know, first it was Drake that needed to suck it up and be able to take a loss like a man, and now we have Ohio State that needs to be able to suck it up and take a loss.
Take a loss. You got more important things to be worried about in your state than a football game.
Throwing a fit and throwing a tantrum.
Right. Throwing a big tantrum. Oh my God, lost by 3 points.
Oh my God.
Should have made a field goal.
Okay, so now moving on to a don't do that. Okay, here's a don't do that. And this is going good because, as you may or may not be able to hear, we are in Michigan and we've got the window open because we are smoking. And it gets kind of cloudy in here when we do an episode or two.
Yes.
So we have the window open and you can probably hear a car turning in the snow. So this is a don't do that for people that are backing out in parking lots or backing out of parking spaces in the wintertime or in the summer or spring or fall time. Please look where you're going. Don't just keep backing out when you hear a horn blaring at you because you're about to hit someone or hit someone's vehicle. You're just going to continue backing out. I've seen this, and unfortunately I'm going to call people out. I've seen this way too many times in East Lansing.
Oh my God, yeah.
And
I mean, there was a time in a parking lot, we were at, what was it, Michael's or something? No, Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby, and that girl looked at me like I was crazy. No, you was whipping in through like a truck, like out of hell.
You are the villain. Like you are the person that is doing wrong when they are dead wrong. Dead wrong. So I just want to say, don't do that.
Right, don't do
be
that.
out here in the holiday about to mess up somebody's Christmas, about to mess up your insurance, mess up their insurance, give everybody a bad day because you don't want to look in your mirrors, turn around and look. And if you see somebody behind you, don't just keep backing out. This happened to us the other day. Kirsten just kept backing out even though she was pushing down on the horn for dear life. She just kept pushing up. Then I had the nerve to open the door and say something until she turned around and heard me say, "Are you fucking blind?" Then did nobody get out the car? Did nobody keep backing up? Then they stayed in the parking spot. But that was the thing. They want to pull you into a situation where you beat somebody's ass or slap the shit out of somebody. And you don't want to be in that situation during the holidays. Everybody wants to be able to enjoy Christmas, open the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip without any problems. want to be able to bite into your turkey or ham or however you do it and deal with Uncle Elroy and Cousin Roosevelt without any incident, right? So please, watch where you're going. Don't just be out of a, no, do that. And now to you, Buds. That's my PSA for the winter time. For the holiday season.
Alright, so we have the Saginaw juvenile lifer who killed man in 1991 gets chance at freedom. Everybody deserves a chance of reformation, period. Everybody wants to scream it for their own, scream it all the time until it comes time for whenever somebody actually gets to have to do it.
Yep.
Now in Saginaw, Michigan, in the summer of 91, 18-year-old James H. Ruth was selling crack cocaine on a Saginaw street corner. Back in the 90s, that was pretty much what people had to do. Alright? People can sit there and say they had choices. Yeah, they had choices. And that's what they chose to do at the end of the day. So, when a dispute arose with a potential customer, he drew a pistol, fired into a crowd, mortally wounding the older man.
Oof.
Now, he is now 51. He had gotten a chance to tell his side. Now, he testified at the trial he had been selling crack at the corner of Hess Avenue and Russell Street the night of July 12, 1991. Clemens, which is the person that died, approached him and asked if he had anything for sale for $5. Which is pretty much what it was back then. Ruth said he wouldn't sell to Clemens as he did not know him. Okay, if you know anything about stuff like that, he was always, if I didn't know you, I ain't fucking with you. Period. That was just the rules of the game.
Right.
Now,
and trying to get flipped.
Thought he was an undercover cop.
Right.
Now, an angry Clemens then kicked Ruth in his groin, cursed and backed away as he reached for his waist. Ruth testified. Now, fearful Clemens was reaching for a gun. Ruth pulled his own, a .32 caliber revolver from his pocket and fired into the crowd of 10 people. His shot struck and mortally wounded Clemens, who died that night at the Saginaw Hospital. Now, at the end of the day, I feel as if he deserves a chance of stuff like that, of reformation. Because back in the 90s, if you know anything about the 90s, and I swear to God, if you sit there and tell people, oh, they had a choice, you're right, they had a choice. All right, but things it still ain't the same. Still the same to an extent. Still really hasn't changed much, especially for people of color, when it comes to being able to get jobs and working and living in the area and how things were back then.
At the end of the day, this is over 30 years.
Exactly. Now
that this man has been locked up, so he does
thankfully
deserve a chance at,
Thankfully,
he does deserve another chance.
Thankfully, because now mind you, back whenever he got sentenced, he was literally supposed to do life, but how they changed the laws to where it was like 25 to life, how they changed it and whatnot, it was able to give other people certain chances to be able to get out and reform themselves and actually be able to live the rest of his life out here. One
question, when did he actually go in?
1991.
He went in 91.
Yes.
So this is over 30 years.
Yes.
That man has served his time, man.
Exactly. You got pedophiles out there who have touched and raped children that get less time.
Man, that man has served his time. He is in his 50s.
He lived the life of that generation. He lived the life of that generation.
Yeah, that's all.
Because it was a life that was lived by many. Lived by many. And at the end of the day, bro, you kick a drug dealer in the balls, bro. What the hell do you think was gonna happen? That's it. That's all we got for you today, guys.
That is it
But still,
Don't Do That.
There you go.
Here on Mad as Hell Monday.
Yep. Oh, I really am glowing. Alright guys, we'll see you next time on Don't Do That. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and get notified for the next episodes. And we'll see you next time on Wicked Wednesday. Peace.